white supremacist neo-Nazi John Manadio called a black West Palm Beach officer the N-word and then added in a homophobic slur for good measure. It happened this past Saturday. Watch.
White like you, I don't give a about either of you. The only thing that's stopping us is you guys got your badges on.
It's the guns, it ain't the badges.
That's it. Clowns. Quit licking your lips, dude. It's weird.
Okay, so right now we're investigating a littering crime citations, and I need identification from everyone here. If not, you're going to go to jail.
Littering crime.
Yes.
I have to go and grab my backpack.
I have no problem.
Yeah, my ID's in my backpack. This getting in my face.
So would you like to get your
Yeah,
ID
I
from me?
would.
Okay, let's
Away
get
from
your
this.
ID. Let's
Yeah.
get your ID.
See this? See what he's doing? He's intimidated. Can I get in here? Aggressive.
No weapons in here.
Shut up. No weapons.
Sir, I'm going to take this.
This is me.
I'm not taking it. I'm going to put it right here while you get your stuff, okay?
This is the hard part, man, huh? When I call you in your face and you got to act like a white man and detain yourself. Huh? This is hard for you, huh? Your low IQ wants to fucking attack me, doesn't it? Over a word. Doesn't it? Yeah, it does. You are a science experiment from the Jew. You're all free to leave. Have a good day. All right, Officer Testosterone. Mystery meat hybrid. All right, see you later.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, shut up.
Follow the laws and you'll be good, guys.
Shut up. No one cares about your gay opinions. Follow the law, you. Hey. Shut the up. You.
So many observations, so little time. It makes your skin crawl. We've heard ugly like this before, sadly, too much of it, right? We've heard this so many times before, but also privilege. I'm thinking about here because I think had the person spewing this garbage looked a different way, there wouldn't be the same outcome. Volusia Sheriff Mike Chitwood shared the video on Twitter to commend the poise the black officer demonstrated in the face of such targeted hate. Chitwood also noted on the losers making $33 while live streaming the encounter for hours by stating that $9,000 had been raised for anti-hate programs just by condemning and making fun of scum like Manadio. Background on the incident, according to WPBF News, investigators with the West Palm Beach Police said on Saturday afternoon, 3 men in a rented U-Haul truck threw hundreds of packets containing anti-Semitic flyers around the Flamingo Parks neighborhood. The video showed at least 5 men, but okay. Per WPBF News, only 3 men were cited for littering, the only statute on the books police can use. Police confiscated 500 of the hateful packets altogether. Detectives said at one point the 3 men who threw them yelled at some of the neighbors, saying disparaging statements. The 3 men who were cited on Saturday, which included Manadio, had also spread hateful messages in the Old Northwood and Northwood Shores neighborhoods on the north end of West Palm Beach last week. This guy's a real winner. Besides 40-year-old Manadio, 60-year-old David Young Kim, 33-year-old Nicholas Allen Bashim were the other 2 men cited for Saturday's incident. Ben, I mentioned privilege because we have this thing that we have to get into constantly, you and I and people like us, where the police have done so much that is so gross that we've had to cover consistently, okay? And I'm not gonna give that disclaimer about I'm not doing it this time, okay? I'm not. But at the same time, you have this horrific being, I'm not gonna say human, Ben. I'm not gonna use the word human, just this horrific being who's intent on spreading garbage and filth. And I wanna get your take on that because it's not easy for us to break down this dance of disparaging disgustingness.
Yeah, no, the unfortunate reality is, I mean, this is like everything about this is so infuriating because look, like I wouldn't walk up to a police officer and obviously not say the N-word, but even just like, even just do anything that would be directly insulting to them or anything like that because, like it would not end well, right? As a trans woman, like you gotta be like extra polite to police officers. There are tons of different people from tons of different marginalized communities where you gotta walk on eggshells around police officers, and not just like, calling them names, but even just like disagreeing with them, where it's like, oh, I actually wasn't speeding, or hey, I actually haven't been drinking tonight, or things like that can like put you in a terrible, terrible situation. Or even just like, yeah, I would prefer it if you didn't search my car right now. And like, so just from that like baseline, we need to understand that there's a reason why this man feels like he can say what he said to that police officer. Right? There's a reason why it didn't come out of nowhere. And it's specifically because the institution of policing as a whole was quite literally born out of slave catching, right? That is like its institutional origin. And it fundamentally has always been oriented predominantly towards Black and brown folks, but marginalized folks more broadly. The institution of policing has always been a form of targeted harassment and suppression of the interests of like Black and brown folks and other marginalized people. Like that has been the whole purpose of the institution. And so policing isn't about making sure that white folks are following the rules or that rich folks are following the rules or anything like that. It's definitely not about keeping people safe. It's definitely not about solving crime, because police officers actually solve very, very little crime and spend almost none of their time actually solving crime. I think the real number is about 2% of the time that they're spending at work is like actually solving crime.
And what about this month during March Madness? It's probably down to 1%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so seriously, like all of these things are just so important to understand that there's a reason why this person feels like they can do that. And like the like spreading pamphlets, I mean, like it's like a whole longer discussion and there's a lot more to be said about it. But like, I think there are good and legitimate reasons why other countries ban Nazism. I think there are good and legitimate reasons why it is illegal in many countries to pass out pamphlets like what these Nazis are passing out. I know that people will get mad and they'll talk about freedom of speech and this, that, or the other thing, but I think we can all recognize that sometimes freedom of speech goes a little bit too far. And I feel like exactly, because it is meant to be intimidating by nature. It is meant to be a threat in nature. It is meant to instill fear. That is why these Nazis say and do the things that they do publicly. Their goal is to create fear, right? And there needs to be a response, right? There needs to be a response, especially when you have Nazis like this coordinating and organizing. The unfortunate reality is like, there's a reason why hate crimes against trans people have skyrocketed, why hate crimes against Asian folks have skyrocketed. There's a reason why you see people like this pushing out Nazi propaganda. At the same time, you see Republicans trying to ban trans people from public. All of these things are connected to each other. And unfortunately, the institutions that we have are designed to suppress the interests of the marginalized people these people are targeting, while also bolstering and protecting the privileged folks that are spreading this.
Yeah, and some of those Republicans are sliding into the DMs of some beautiful trans people. Okay, they're sliding into the DMs, and we've covered it here. And we don't care. Listen, do whatever you want to do. Don't be a hypocrite. Don't incite violence, because we want people to be and live and exist in their authentic selves. And we want you to let other people do that too. Okay, don't bother me. I won't bother you. It's like the concept maybe your grandma taught you when you were just a little tyke. We've got to go to break, but real quick, I do want you to comment because I'm torn. I don't want to tear the police chief down, but praising the police officers for being poised. You're not supposed to react. It's disgusting to react to, but I just want to, what do you think about that?
I mean, that's just like a whole thing that exists within our culture, where if you were marginalized in any way, shape, or form, you were just expected by default to tolerate bigotry, to just let it roll off of your shoulders and just be like, oh, they mean well, or this, that, or the other thing, and don't take it too hard or whatever. And honestly, I'm sick of it. I think honestly, most people are sick of it, because like that mentality of, oh, if somebody's being bigoted towards you, you have a responsibility to keep your composure. No, they're not keeping their composure. And like, I think personally, we should all be more accepting of people chewing these people out and really just being like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you saying this? Get out of my face.
I want to quote, we're gonna go to break, but I want to quote a great scholar, a great man who said, I'm gonna meet you with that same energy. That was Dr. Richey. Okay, he said that before.